In Richmond, Virginia, protesters toppled a statue of Christopher Columbus on Tuesday evening. They set it on fire before throwing it in a nearby lake. In Antwerp, Belgium, city officials removed a statue of King Leopold II Tuesday, just days after protesters set it on fire. From 1885 to 1908, Leopold declared himself absolute ruler of Congo, leading a campaign of torture and genocide that killed an estimated 10 million people.
And I believe that to be true.
Of course you do.
Is it not true? That's what I was taught when I lived in Belgium.
Let's look at some of the facts. This is also stated in the Encyclopedia Britannica. Apparently, he killed 10 million and left a nation. It was a nation of 20 million, and he killed 10 of them.
I know that it was pretty bad. I know that Congo was bad, and I know King Leopold was a part of it. But
yeah, it's all Leopold's fault. Now, let me just ask you a couple of questions.
Uh-oh.
Since you're on that side of the argument, because you've heard it and probably taught you that in school.
I'm not on any side. I'm just...
No, you take the side. Take the side.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay, so let's see. They broke off the ruling of Belgium, I think 1908, 1910, something. In the period, let's say, they were out of the Congo by 1920.
Okay.
Now, if they had killed... Leopold had killed 10 million, and the Encyclopedia Britannica mentioned he either killed everybody but he killed 10 million, and Amy said 10 million. You've heard 10 million. The Britannica says 10 million, leaving a population of
10 million.
10 million. So they had 20 million people living in the Congo in the 1800s.
That's a lot of people.
Seems like it, because let me point out it's real facts, because they've done studies. Real demographers have come in since World War II, and they have followed the population of Congo. And it's the exact same place that Leopold ruled, where he killed 10 million. So in 1955, the population of the Congo was under 1 million. So
yeah.
Today's population is 5.5 million. And the population growth in the Congo from 1955, where there's about 800,000, to today's a slow growth. So from 1910, 1920, within 40 years, the 9 or 10 million people that were supposedly left over after he killed 10 million, they died off. And 9 million of them died off of what? When did this huge die-off happen? So you'd have a population in the Congo of, let's say, about 800,000 in 1955. What happened to those 9 million plus people?
Ebola?
There was no Ebola then.
You're asking me. I don't know.
It's bullshit. It's a lie. He didn't kill 10 million because there weren't 10 million people to kill. In the entire continent, there was only 100 million at the time.
Interesting.
So how you kill 10% of all the Africans in Africa? How do you get away with killing 10 million? Why do people suck this 10 million number up when it's not even possible if the population of Congo is less than 1 million in 1955? And it's only 5.5 million today. And it's the exact same Congo where he killed 10 million. This is a lie and is bullshit. And it got me to the following conclusions. You realize, the problem with the education system is they only study European history. That's because that's the only history that's been recorded. There's some Chinese history, but most deep recording of history was done in Western civilization. Ptolemy back, 2,000 years of writings about history. And the idea of studying history is so you can understand the movement of history, not so you can understand the peoples, because it's not about you. It's about the way civilizations work. You're not reading history or trying to understand these things because it's about blacks or Chinese or whites. It's so you can understand the flow of history. You can't do that with Africa because there's no flow of history, because there's no written history except for what the Romans did in northern Africa, and that's just a bit of Africa. So the reason you want to study African history is the same reason you could throw out this bullshit 10 million killed by Leopold, which they tore his statue down over. Because you can lie to the students with made-up facts and turn them against Western civilization and make them socialist globalists. This is nonsense. This whole thing is a scam, and that 10 million number bugs me to no end, and it's a lie and should be rebuked.
John C. Dvorak's Pet Peeve of the Day.
Exactly.
Wikipedia actually says 10 to 15 million.
What happened to all the leftover people? You can look at the modern demographics and back it up. It starts today with 5.5 million. How did it get to 15 million dead? It's bullshit. It's a blatant lie.
Okay,
and it's designed to make you feel bad because, you killed all these people.
All right.
And it's your fault, Whitey.
So, well, I have homework for you then. I really like this. Next, I would like you to deconstruct 6 million Jews in the Holocaust. Go.
Actually, that's another thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking this. Hold on a second.
Third rail.
No, I'm going to go to the third rail for this reason. The idea behind the 10 million dead Congolese, or 15, is to diminish the Holocaust because it's also anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish bullshit.
Yep.
So that you can diminish the Holocaust by making these phony baloney massacres that never took place look bigger in the 1800s and early 1900s, which wasn't even possible, and the population doesn't support it. But you can throw these numbers out there, make people believe it. You believed it. You heard it when you were a kid. Mm-hmm. And the fact, because you know about Leopold, because you were raised in Holland.
Yeah.
And they talk about this stuff. And everybody in Holland probably thinks he killed 10 million. This is to make the Jewish Holocaust look minor by comparison. It's a lie.
I'm actually looking this up in Dutch now. I just want to see if I can find any numbers. I don't want a Wikipedia because that would just be a direct translation.
Well, I got it out of the Britannica backs this up, saying they killed 10 million and left 10 million, which somehow those 10 million disappeared by 1955 some magic way. So this is really a scheme, and it's bad, and it's dangerous, and this is the kind of rewriting history. But they can do it in areas that really aren't that documented. Africa's not well documented. They had a lot of civilizations here and there. Sure they did. But they're not documented.
But what's interesting is that, and I like your assertion, that this has been, now, of course, the lie has been there for a long time. I don't remember growing up learning 10 million. I don't know if I had a number, but millions, absolutely millions. So it's not like that lie is, it predates Black Lives Matter, etc. But it's certainly being brought back now, and a number's being put on it, and then subsequently the statue goes down, gets taken down. Very interesting that it's meant to look bigger than the Holocaust, than the Jews. That's and you know what? It doesn't surprise me. It does not surprise me at all. How cynical are these fucks?
It's out of control.
it truly
a lot of
is.
it's not cynicism. It's that they just believe things at face value. Somebody says it. Oh, 10 million. Leopold killed 10 million. Oh, he did? Huh. Okay, wow. He killed 10 million. What a bad prick that guy must be. Yeah. Pull his statue down.
Well,
and the guy was a jerk. It's pretty obvious if you read anything about him. But this is not right. This is nonsense. He's worse than Hitler? Really?
Yeah, well done. Well, as you say.